Okay, guys, so I'm going to try and make this short and sweet. I'm going to nerd out a little here, but I get this comment a little bit. Why do I advertise or say karate if I have a Korean flag, up in the studio and on the uniform here? So just real quick, Korean martial arts, right? So karate is a style of martial arts from Okinawa. It's made up of two words. Karate means empty hand. Tangsoodo, if you break it down, Tangsoodo, Tang comes from the Tang dynasty in China. That's where the Hwarangdan warriors helped to, they were friendly with the Koreans. They taught them Tangsoodo. So Tang comes from the Tang dynasty in China. Su means hand, but implies punch, kick, or strike, and Do means the way of life. So literally translated, Tangsoodo means the way of Tang's hand. So that's what it means. So it's Korean karate. Now, furthermore, the style. So Tangsoodo, or just Korean martial arts, Taekwondo. Where I come from, my lineage, I trace it back to Mudokwan. So my instructor, Grandmaster Kwan, came over from Korea. He trained in Mudokwan, and in Mudokwan he learned Subak-do. He didn't, when he came over to America when he was 17 or 18 to teach, that's when he was told that he was teaching Tangsoodo. He had never heard of Tangsoodo before, and the reason here in America that they chose Tangsoodo, my best guess is that it was more familiar to people here. So people like Chuck Norris, who spent time in Korea on the military bases there learning the martial arts, came back and made this popular. So people didn't know what Subak-do was, but they knew what Tangsoodo was because it was more popular. So they just started to say Tangsoodo. I can go a little bit even further than that. Grandmaster Wang Ki, when he started Mudokwan, the style of martial arts he wanted to teach, he called Hwasudo, the art of the flowering hand. But nobody in Korea knew what that was. They weren't familiar with it. So it was kind of hard to get people to sign up and train for it. So he changed the name to Subak-do, which was more understandable to them, and it was a lot easier to get people to sign up because it made more sense to them. So, you can see this happening from time to time where people just kind of go with what's easier for the general public to understand. So karate is, in general, the general population, it's used synonymously with martial arts. So, people just say karate, but they mean martial arts. Most general people don't understand that karate is a style of martial arts that comes from Okinawa. So yeah, my website is musakarate.com. When I answer the phone, it's "Thank you for calling Musa Karate. How can I help you?" Same thing. There's another studio right down the street. Somebody call me out if I'm incorrect, but it's just Amcor Karate, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure that's the website. And he was another student of my grandmaster, very well respected grandmaster in the area, Grandmaster Scott. So it's just kind of a common thing. It's people are just more familiar with the word karate. But yeah, that's really it. So yeah, karate comes from Okinawa. It's an Okinawan style of martial arts. And even furthermore, Tangsoodo, traditional Tangsoodo practitioners, for forms, they do the Pinan or Hinan forms from Shotokan. But in Korean, we call it Pyongan. So there's a lot of crossovers there, and that's because, at least from my lineage, Grandmaster Wang Ki had Japanese Shotokan books to study from. So that's why there's such a similarity in the forms and the way the techniques are done. The Koreans changed things a little bit, obviously, but the founder of Shotokan, Japanese Shotokan, was Gichin Funakoshi. Gichin Funakoshi is not Japanese. He's Okinawan. He studied in Okinawa under Anko Itosu. So Anko Itosu taught this guy Gichin Funakoshi. Gichin Funakoshi took all this stuff over to Japan to teach it in the school systems and the college level to spread karate. And then Grandmaster Wang Ki learned this from the Japanese Shotokan books took that, and that heavily influenced his teachings. So in my mind, karate, Tangsoodo, it's very similar. Now, if you start talking about Taekwondo, that's a little bit different, sort of, kind of. So that'll be another video. But hopefully that helps. If you guys have any questions, let me know. That'll be it.